better yell, show me the money!
What is up, everybody? Your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Network coming at you. Try to rush to get into the stream today, and I put the wrong intro. But anyway, that's still a funny one. Yo, it's been a minute. Last time we got on, I was about a week ago. Monday I did a nice little Epstein stream. Last weekend before that, me and Jim got on. So I kind of took a little bit of a break and needed to jump on. And because I'm feeling a little patriotic this week, man. After Sunday, the United States of America accomplished the impossible miracle, closing out the illustrious Winter Olympics by the U.S., winning 12 gold medals, the most ever in any Winter Olympic sport, in any Winter Olympics. And I'm not a big Winter Olympic guys. Being Cuban, being Latino, I'm a Summer Olympic guy. I love swimming, track and field, baseball, basketball, all that kind of stuff. But the inspiring about the U.S. team winning the gold medal for the first time in like 46 years, right? Both the women's and the men. That's a cool thing. Sorry, I was checking my audio. Both the women and the men winning the gold. I think this is the first time this might have happened ever in an Olympic forum. Beating Canada twice. Let's not kid ourselves. The Canadians are the best in the world. And regardless of how much better they played, at the end of the day, the gold landed around the necks of the Americans. And one thing about the Olympics, man, this year was one of those years where, of course, the TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, ran wild in the Olympics, right? This guy Hunter Hess saying that he doesn't feel very American, even though he's competing for the U.S. American-born citizens competing for other countries. And to me, the Olympics should be about country first. Politics, never. And I think regardless who the president is, I think the Olympic feeling should always be country first. And this U.S. Olympic team made that fairly known. Jack Hughes was an unbelievable story. I mean, look at this picture, man. This dude has no teeth, American flag. And I'm going to play the interview, said everything right. The United States, the Americans win gold medals since 1980. And 1980 was the year that, they beat the Russians, right? Even though that wasn't the gold medal game. But they beat the Russians and they went on to win the gold medal. And it's symbolic because back then it was bigger than just pride in country. It was in the middle of the Cold War where the U.S. and Russia and the world, and they won it. And it kind of was symbolic. There's no war between Canada. I know there's difference between the U.S. and Canada, but they're not enemies by any means necessary. And I don't think it was that connotation. I think it was more of like, man, the U.S. beat the best in the world. That's a Canadian team. Regardless whether the U.S. would lose 9 out of 10 times, we got that one that brought us the gold in 46 years. And the Olympics, again, it should be country and pride, patriotism over government, over politics, over any president. Jack Hughes, class act. Hallenberg, the goalie, legendary. I mean, yes, this guy had 41 saves. Just ridiculously. It was just one of those things that it was meant to be. But the feeling of patriotism was just overwhelming overall in the U.S. I mean, we're in Florida. I'm in Florida. We have the Elbow Room at 7 o'clock in the morning opening in Las Olas on Fort Lauderdale. People say nobody watches hockey in Florida. There was plenty of people live at 7 o'clock in the morning on the beach at the Elbow Room watching hockey. I'm not a hockey guy. I never cover hockey. This is probably the second time you're ever going to hear the words hockey out of my mouth. But it's not because it's just not about hockey. It's just about the whole concept of pride. As you all know, I'm not a born U.S. citizen. I'm a naturalized U.S. citizen. I was born in a communist country. I was born in Cuba. I'm never ashamed or never hide that. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of my culture where I was, proud of being Cuban. But I'm even more prouder or equally as proud of being a Cuban American, right? Not by birth, but because I've been here a lot longer than I lived anywhere else. As a kid who got here at the age of 10, I'm now turning 48 tomorrow. I've been living here a lot longer than ever. I'm going to die in this land. My kids are born here, right? Second generation E-mans, right? So therefore, I've always taken pride of the United States because it's given me all the freedoms, all the opportunities I would never had if my father and my mother didn't have the balls to escape communism. All right, because if it would have gone the other way, I would not be sitting here today speaking to you, looking at this camera, speaking to this mic. So I always root for the U.S. 100 when it comes to Olympic events. Again, I'm not a big Winter Olympics guy. I'm more of a Summer Olympic kind of guy. However, this was a once in a lifetime. The last time the U.S. won was in 1980. I was 2 years old. Oh, hold on a second. I was 2 years old. I was not even in this country. I was a young 2-year-old kid who at that point, there was no thought. I know my father always wanted to escape Cuba and go to the U.S. because we have family in the U.S. And he always wanted the freedoms for his family and himself. But the fact that at that time, that wasn't a thing or even a thought when the last time they won, but now I was able to experience getting up. I actually turned the TV on and watch a hockey game, which I never do. I'm a fan of going to live games, and I've gone to maybe 4 or 5 live games in my lifetime, and I'm not a big hockey guy. But I love watching it live because it's just such a treat watching a hockey game live, the speed of the game. But I got up that day, and I rooted, and I stayed glued to the TV. And again, just like they won, I'm a proud American. I'm a proud Cuban American. And I'm happy that the U.S. won. Jack Hughes is a great story. That entire team is a great story. You know, again, they held patriotism over politics first and foremost. It was about pride in country, not pride in which political size do I actually support. So, and that's the way it's supposed to be when it comes to the Olympics, right? Forget about politics. Here's his interview afterwards, right? Jack Hughes lost a tooth in the ice. And look what he said. Here's the interview, and this is what I'm talking about. This is what it's supposed to be.
This is all about our country right now. I love the USA. I love my teammates. It's unbelievable. The USA Hockey Brotherhood is so strong, and we had so much support from ex-players. I'm so proud to be American today.
This was such an incredible game to grind out. I mean, you're bleeding right through it just looking at you right now. Can you just talk about how difficult this gold medal was to win?
Unbelievable game by Hellebuck. He was our best player tonight by a mile. Unbelievable game. Unreal game by our team. That's just a ballsy, gutsy win. That's American hockey right there. That's a great Canadian team, but we're USA. We're so proud to be Americans. Tonight was all for the country.
What does this gold medal mean to USA Hockey?
It's everything. Like I said, the USA Hockey Brotherhood means so much. Look at these guys. We're such a team. We've been together for 2 weeks. We're such a team. The USA Hockey Brotherhood is so strong, and we're so proud to win for our country.
So proud to win for our country. The USA Hockey Brotherhood is deep. So proud to be American. That's why you compete in the Olympics. These guys are professional players. They got a salary. Most of the other individuals, speed skating, right? Bobsledding, and any of the, figure skating. Some of these people will never have a professional contract. This is it. They train on their own dime. They work part-time jobs because they want to win a gold medal for accomplishment and also for the pride of their country. You know what I mean? It's not like basketball, baseball, hockey, where professional players already have a career. It's different. It's different. It's one of those things that at the end of the day, when one of these, like not just the USA Hockey, but the other sports don't win a gold medal, you know, that could be it. That's it. Their career may be over after that. But he said all the right words. It's about country, proud to be an American. It's all about the hockey, the USA Hockey Brotherhood. That's what it should be all about. And it's funny. Right after that, the way, because that was the last day, The way Phil Tirico, give me 1 second, I got a lot of stuff. The way Mike Tirico wraps up the Olympic, it was one of the best wrap-ups because, again, he kept it on the same lines. Take a listen. Mike Tirico here wrapping up the historic Olympics right after the Team USA win.
Because of a drought that almost lasted a half century, those teams are revered. They are held on to forever. And what happened today doesn't take away from the greatness of those teams or the meaning that those teams have in U.S. hockey. But what you saw today was the build of a generation, inspired perhaps by that team that lost in 2010 in Vancouver to the Sidney Crosby golden goal in overtime. Or the team where TJ Oshie had all those shootout goals in 2014. That's when these guys were doing what you're doing, watching on TV. And they were young, and they were living the dream. So for all the young people out there, not just the hockey, but all the Olympics you've watched, those dreams are formed now. Go chase them and go get them. Because our country loves sports, and it brings us together unlike anything else. And if you didn't know that, if you haven't been watching the last 2 weeks, you saw it in Team USA hockey, winning the gold over their arch rival Canada here in Milan to wrap up these 25th Olympic Winter Games.
Sports has always been the one sanctuary, right? That has crossed over barriers of race and differences, right? And he said it right. If you haven't been watching the last couple of weeks, it's been a country united about one goal, and it's about USA beating the rest of the world. The hockey team is such a huge symbolic part of this whole because they beat the best in the world in Canada. You know, it's like the U.S. against the world, right? And you beat the best in Canada. Canada is the best freaking hockey nation in the world. Used to be the Russians, but, you know, that's been long gone. The ship has sailed. And for the fact that this game united a lot of different sites, a lot of different people, most likely. There was a lot of Americans that put their differences, political difference aside and rooted for the United States together. That was a great message from Mike Tirico. Sports unites people. And in the last few years, the NBA have been politicizing the game, the NFL, MLB, they all tried to politicize and create division. But I think we're going to move back little by little of, you know what? Let's keep politics out of sports. Athletes who have a right to their political views, but do it in your own platform. Keep it out of the court, out of the baseball field, out of the football field, out of the hardwood, out of the ice. When people go to an arena, a stadium, it's because they have one thing in common. Regardless of race, religion, we all root for the same team, the home team. In this case, the home team was the United States of America. Great job of Mike Tirico closing that out and emphasizing how important sports plays a role in unification in the world, but most importantly, now in the United States. It needs to go back to that. Great job of Mike Tirico. He is a GOAT. He is a G. Did a hell of a job in these Olympics. And it was great. But unfortunately, you do have individuals who want to always bring politics into the mix. This USA team landed in Miami last night. They were doing their thing, baby. Let me see. Hold on a second. Let me see if I find some footage. They were hanging out. We got some stuff to talk about. You know what I'm saying? They were hanging out today. They went to the White House, but they were in Miami hanging out. They went to Club 11. They were partying. Oh man, I thought I had some footage of them partying in Club 11, but no, I do not. Darn it. No, I do not. Let me see. No, I do not. But here's an interview last night. This is a interview last night when they called Jack Hughes, and he refuses to cave in to the race baiting and the politics baiting. Check it out. Jack Hughes that dude is a career, man, in a lot of different things if it's not just hockey.
Are you guys excited to be going to the White House and meeting Trump?
Yeah, we're excited. I mean, anytime, everything is so political. We're athletes. We're so proud to represent the U.S. And when you get the chance to go to the White House, meet the president, we're proud to be Americans, and that's so patriotic. So no matter what your views are, we're super excited to go to the White House tomorrow and just be a part of that.
How do you feel about the women not going?
They got busy schedules too. I mean, I know we're getting like everyone's giving us backlash for all the social media stuff today, but it's so negative. People are so negative out there, and they're trying to find a reason to just like put people down and make something out of almost nothing. But you know, our relationship with them over the course of being in the Olympic Village, I think we were so tight with their group and our group after we won the gold medal.
Regardless of what your political views are, any team it's an honor to visit the White House. Whoever is in power, Trump, Biden, all right, Obama, it doesn't matter whether your views don't align with that president, but getting invited to the White House is probably one of the top, probably like, you know, bucket list for any athlete, and probably not as top as winning a gold medal or winning a championship, but it's right there. It should be next. And he answered that question and gave him his side. Listen, I don't care. It's not about politics. It's about unification. We're getting a lot of backlash for something that really doesn't mean anything. And it's true. Trump invited, or the White House invited the women before the men won. They just said they could not go because they have a bunch of commitments, right? With teams and other stuff, prior commitments. So you could turn it down. But they try to make it like the women do not want to go visit the White House because of the current administration. Completely untrue. And these young men over here went out there and said it. They went ham on it. He said the right things. It's not about politics. People want to give us backlash, but we don't care. This is all about the United States. This is all about winning the gold medal for the country. And we were so proud to go and represent this and at the White House, because the White House is, you know, where the government is ran. So great job. Jack Hughes is a dude that has a future. He knows he could be a politician, and probably a good one. They don't think he's an honest politician, but he could be the first. Shout out to this young man. And yeah, man. And today they went around South Beach. They went to 11 last night. You know, they were supposed to go to New York, which I don't know who in his right mind want to go to New York in the winter. Oh, here it is. Here we go. They were at Club 11 last night, and the hockey team during the league, Greenwood's God Bless America last night, just went out, and you got to skate to where the puck it is, and they just went crowd. Look, this is Club 11. Look at the scene. Wow. I mean, who in this right? I mean, I think this should be a tradition. I think every gold medal hockey team, everybody should come to Miami, South Florida, and party on, bro. The weather's nice. Why would you want to go to New York where there's dirty crap all over the place? All right. You got a mayor running things into the ground, garbage all over the place. It's cold. It's snowing. South Florida is where it's at, man. Is where all the celebrations should be held during the winter. Great weather. People appreciate good old American culture. Depends where in South Florida. But it's great. They were partying last night. Life was good. It's just, you know, one of those things that it's a good story, man. It's actually, you know, it's some shot of patriotism, man. I mean, it's time to get back to that and forget about what your interests are, whatever your divisiveness when it comes to politics. Put that aside and root for the one common goal that everybody should have in common, the United States of America. And let's watch the Jack Hughes game-winning goal one last time. Let's go.
It looked like the Canadians. It looked like they were going to have a 2-on-0, Bush. And all of a sudden, the Americans went back the other way, and it was a 3-on-1. Is Wawrinski finds Jack Hughes, and he goes 5-hole. And the reaction from Team USA's bench.
Jim and Ellen Hughes celebrate.
It's all about pride in country. It's about the USA winning in a sport that we're not very successful at, especially against the greatest in the world. That's what the whole point should have been, and the whole focus should be. Stop trying to divide in sports, because sports is one of the few unifiers in this country. It's not about politics. It's not about who's in office. It's about America, man. It's about patriotism. It's about pride in your country. That's what it should be all about. And you know what? Good for the U.S. team. They went to the White House today. Bro, they rode in US 1. I'm sorry, Air Force 1. Hold on a second. I got a lot of other stuff here that I want to show you. I was gonna go live on the weekend, but let me see. Today, USA hockey team arrives.
The camera work. Oh, look at that. Look at the heroes welcome they're going to get. I was chuckling because I was so jealous they were on a plane that got to land in the D.C., Boston, New York area. But this is fun. Look at the crowd that awaits them.
They're waving.
Big crowd when they landed in Washington today. Well, Maryland going to Washington. Big crowd out there chanting USA.
I don't think they can go anywhere right now without stopping to take a picture, shake a hand, or give a high five, John.
Yeah, well, it looks like
Here we go.
Looks like the folks there are on the tarmac, so they're going to go over. Here we are. Look at this. They're jogging over.
Draped in an American flag.
Jogging over as best they can after a night at one of the most famous nightclubs in Miami. And what a celebration that was as they go greet the folks who have assembled there at Andrews Air Force Base.
Look at that.
Carrying the flag there. You know, it really is remarkable when you consider everything that happened with the NFL and people taking a knee during the national anthem, the patriotism that this hockey team.
Again, that to me, the whole kneeling, we've done this. Everybody has their viewpoints. It's back. No reason to bring it up. Just focus on the patriotism this team has brought up to the rest of the United States of America. Again, that's the problem with mainstream media, whether it's far right or far left. They always make it about their narrative instead of reporting what's happening right now, which is, for the first time in a long time, it's been a big focus on pride and country, all right, and American pride.
Has shown and the love for country and the fact that they were there, even though they come from various teams, not only across this nation, but Hellebuck plays for the Winnipeg Jets up in Canada. Johnny Gaudreau was playing for the Calgary Flames. His jersey was paraded around the ice and included in the medal ceremony after he was tragically killed back in 2024 by a drunk driver. Even though they're far-flung across the country and even playing in Canada, the way that they came together as a national team was nothing short of remarkable. There were
because of the camera.
That's a cool story with Johnny Gaudreau, killed by a drunk driver. That's insane. He should have been there. They brought his kids out to the ice. Unbelievable, man. That was so cool, man. And here they are. Again, hate it or love it, whether you agree or disagree with the current administration, I believe when you get invited to the White House, it's a pleasure, a privilege, and an honor to go, regardless of your political views. It's not about the president, because America is bigger than the president. America is bigger than any president at the moment. So whoever's in the administration, put your political view aside, take the honor, and go to the White House, because it's a thing that most people would probably kill to do. Great story. Again, look, I'm not a hockey guy. I think I've mentioned this a few times. Not a hockey guy. I'm not a hockey guy at all. You never see me talk hockey. I think the last time I spoke about hockey was I guess it was U.S. against Canada for something. I got nothing against Canada, bro. Okay, shout out to all my Canadian brothers. I got a lot of people that I know in Canada and people that actually I'm friends with here on the space. 1420 Sports. Nothing against Canada. Regardless of difference or whatever the case may be, but it just happens to be this is the second time I talk hockey. I'm again, my focus is the game is great. I'm not great versed on it. That's why I don't talk about it. Never grew up playing hockey. I know how to ice skate, but I never grew up playing hockey. But the fact that this is just above the sport, it was about patriotism and American pride. And this team lived up to all of it. It's great to hear. It's great to see. Hopefully this can encourage America to start uniting a little bit better. And even if you have political differences, don't let it interfere with your sports. Because sports, like Mike Tirico said, is a unifier, not a divider. All right. Man, I spent 25 minutes on this. Yeah, I got super patriotic, man. You know what I mean? I am. I love this country, dude. I love this country. This country has given me the freedoms and opportunities that Cuba could ever do. And talking about freedoms, man, the Falcons are planning to release Kirk Cousins early March. Kirk Cousins. This is nuts. I got to pull this up on my phone. Give me 1 second, boys and girls. Give me 1 second. Freaking Kirk Cousins, bro. This man earned $100 million with the Falcons. A guy that they signed for $100 million guaranteed, and I forget what the other number is. But then you draft a quarterback, bench him in his first season, which, by the way, probably the wrong move. Doesn't start this year. Ends up starting to end the season because Penix got hurt. But this man still made $100 million. Take a look at the most NFL career earnings. At number one, this is all salary. Matthew Stafford, $403 million. Hey, won Super Bowl, 7 playoff wins. I think that's worth it. Aaron Rodgers, Super Bowl champ, 11 playoff wins and a bunch of MVPs. So that Matthew Stafford had one. Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers earned $395 million and Matthew Stafford $403. Tom Brady, $333 million, 7 Super Bowls, 35 playoff wins. I think they got a bargain. Kirk Cousins, career endings of $322 million. 1 playoff win. And the crazy part is that he may play 1 more year. He may end up back in the Vikings to retire as a Viking. With the way J.J. McCarthy's playing, that could be a possibility. He could end up in the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's younger than Aaron Rodgers. Can still ball a little bit. Just give him the O-line. You know what I mean? Oh, I got to plug in my... Keep forgetting to plug in my laptop when I start these things, man. The last thing we need, man, to lose the stream because I forgot to plug in my laptop here. So he could end up as a starter, even in Vegas, for 4 or 5 games before you hand it over to Mendoza. Starter in New York as the Jets. Kirk has landing opportunities here. But this man has earned $322 million, 4th most earned money in the NFL. Let me go through this list again. Matthew Stafford is number 1 with a career's total earning of $403 million. Right? 1 Super Bowl to show for and 7 playoff wins. Aaron Rodgers, 1 Super Bowl champ, of course, 11 playoff wins. Total career earnings of $395 million. Tom Brady, 333 career earnings, $333 million. 7 Super Bowls, 35 playoff wins. Kirk Cousins, $322 million career earnings, 1 playoff win. Wow. Kirk Cousins has probably the best agent in the history of sports. He's a great regular season player. 1 career playoff win, but has earned the 4th most money. This man has robbed the league Not in a bad way. Don't hate the player, hate the game. He didn't beg. He negotiated. And he was at the right place at the right time and the right negotiations with the right agent. But again, I see Kirk Cousins play one more year and probably starting. Don't be surprised if you see the purple and gold. If he wears the purple and gold again. All right. Let's go, man. I'm about to wrap this up, but I got some more stuff to get off my chest. Boxing is really hurting, man. Since the golden age of the 90s, it's been difficult to really get into storylines, right? Canelo has been probably the most shining star since that. But the fact that you have Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather, both in their 40s, late 40s to begin, are going for a rematch the rematch from 11 years ago in Las Vegas at the Sphere. It's crazy. It's a sport of boxing hurting that much for just having a name, a household brand name that you going back and like resurfacing, reviving two of the greatest boxers of their time and their era, and Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. First fight was disappointing. Floyd won it. Rumor was that Pacquiao went into that fight with a hurt shoulder. So Floyd is like, hey, I want it back. I want to run it back. I think they just want to run it back because of money. Both individuals have been in financial problems in their career, even though Pacquiao earned over $600 million of his entire career and Floyd over $1 billion. But apparently they need the money because they're going to fight again. And guess what? It's in Netflix. They got to get a nice bag. And people are going to watch because there's really nothing going on in boxing. Terrence Crawford's retiring or retired. Canelo may retire. That's it, man. There's really no name anybody can just like latch on to say, hey, this is the Oscar De La Hoya of this generation. This is the Floyd Mayweather of this generation. This is the Manny Pacquiao of this generation. This is the Mike Tyson of this generation. You know what I'm saying? This is the next Lewis of my generation. This is the Bernard Hopkins of my generation. All right. There's always boxers in each generation that's the face of the sport. And during the Mayweather era, you had Mayweather and Pacquiao ruling the league, and there was other great boxers too that, even Canelo was coming up. Julio Cesar Chavez in his era. Again, I mentioned De La Hoya and Trinidad. There's always been multiple boxers that have been the face of boxing, but not since these guys. These guys may be the last ones to be household like names, recognized worldwide. Canelo maybe after that. Yeah, absolutely Canelo. So they're redigging these guys out of the grave, putting them together because boxing needs it more than anything. The UFC has annihilated the combat sport. The UFC now is the combat sport to watch, is what catches the eye at every house, at every conversation when it comes to fighting. They are the sport. There's storylines. There's always, every 3 to 4 years, you have a new name, from the beginning to now with, what is it, Patty the Batty and the other dude. I mean, there's so many different names. And I think boxing is just struggling so much. The days of HBO and Showtime are gone, where they held all the Saturday night boxing stuff, that it was always an event to watch on cable, pay-per-view. But they're grasping, and this is where they're at. Manny Pacquiao against Floyd Mayweather. Both guys in their late 40s, 11 years after the last time they met each other. Don't get me wrong, I am going to watch. I have Netflix. I will watch. And a lot of people will watch, regardless of how crap. This may be another Mike Tyson and Jake Paul kind of fight, but people will watch this because it's two icons who never met each other in their prime. That fight between both of them, they were both towards the end of their career. Manny Pacquiao a step slower. A lot of battles. Damaged already. Floyd Mayweather on his way out. It wasn't an exciting fight like it would have been 4 years before that. So we got to bring him back and put him in the ring because that's the best thing boxing can do. It is what it is, man. This country is great. Capitalism is great. They got to earn some money and step in the ring and probably give a crappy ass fight. But I will be watching. They got my attention. They got my money. They got my subscription with Netflix. I will be watching whether I had Netflix or not. I will be watching this fight because I'm a boxing fan and a purist. Yep. It is what it is, man. Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather, part 2, the rematch. Unreal. All right, that's pretty much I got. Hold on. No, I got one more thing. Right here, man. This is staying with fighting. Let's we gotta play it. Hold on a second. We gotta play this. And I'll give you my take. There's a lot of action sports, man. There's a lot of combat sports topics here today. And I know this is not trending like it was a couple of days ago. You know what I mean? Hold on, let me go back over here. But Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano are gonna head up. I believe when here. Let me show you the actual preview, the trailer. Doing what they're supposed to be doing, brother. Netflix just unreal. Netflix just does what they do, brother. Unreal. Netflix. Manny Pacquiao, digging him out of the grave, digging Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano out of the grave. This one is interesting because Gina Carano hasn't fought in forever. And neither has Ronda Rousey, but you could tell Ronda Rousey is in better shape, probably stays more active. Gina Carano has had acting career, movies, The Mandalorian, her battle with Disney for getting blackballed because of her, her religious views. And she even went through this whole drastic depression where she gained a lot of weight. It looks like she lost the weight back. I mean, I was a big Gina Carano fan because I think she's gorgeous, but she was a hell of a fighter. Gina Carano was the Ronda Rousey before Ronda Rousey. Gina, if it wasn't for Gina Carano, Ronda Rousey probably would have never gotten the shot. So you got Generation 1 against Generation 2, over the hill, over the edge, but it's going to be interesting. This is going to be such a quick fight, it's not even funny. Give me Ronda Rousey. First round, on bar. It's over. Netflix is going to have a busy year with Pacquiao, Mayweather 2, Gina and Ronda. Hey, man, they need to because they lost a lot of money in this last quarter. Better wake up and smell the coffee and get off that woke shit. All right, Netflix? Sorry, woke stuff. That's all I got. I appreciate everybody. This Saturday is my baby girl's 13th birthday. My baby Katie, she doesn't watch the show. I don't let her watch the show because I curse. And she's not into sports. And we're doing it big. We're going to celebrate for her. We got a big gift for her. But God bless you, baby girl. You are my inspiration. You are the reason why I look up to God, because you just show me how much resilience you have and the miracles that you've gone, that God has been able to perform for you. One day I'll share her story, but my 13-year-old baby, he's 13 years old, man. Can't believe that already. He's a great kid, but most important, she has a big heart and a strong faith-centered life in Christ and God. So your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Network signing out with another edition of the Unscripted Sportscast. We will see you next time. Yo, peace. Yo.